I mean, at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, are we all truly going to be feeling the same way as this picture here? I mean, I guess we got something to talk about. So let's roll that mother effing intro.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really wanna.
All right, so truth be told, I like this. I do like the fact that Jeff Hardy's back. I do. The only issue that I have is kind of like what I said when I did the video when he got arrested. I'm glad that they gave this time though. I am glad they gave this time. I'm glad that he spent time away. I'm glad that he got I believe he got 1 or 2 surgeries done, which is a good thing. But and there is a big but with all of this. Is he ready to come back? I'm pretty sure he wants to come back. I'm sure he's glad that he is back. But is he ready to come back? I mean, for sure. He definitely looks like he's ready to come back. I mean, this is good shape for him. This is definitely good shape for him. We don't have any reports on whether he has been sober, whether he is back to form, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it's kind of hard to take Matt Hardy's words for Jeff Hardy. I mean, it comes from a biased standpoint. We haven't heard any other reports from anybody else or any other sources that would state otherwise. But we do have the trust of Tony Khan. For the most part, Tony Khan, I do trust his judgment with a lot of things. He does have his own biases, of course, but he is definitely a businessman. And with that, comes a certain level of maturity and ownership to a situation. So I don't believe that he would do this in bad faith. I don't think that he would do this at the behest of anybody either. So I just have my own hopes for what's going to happen here. I'm not expecting us to have a Supreme Hardy's run or have Jeff come back and just be, back to the way he was whenever he went back to WWE and all this other stuff. I just hope that he's healthy and that he is sober for sure. But one thing that we have to do is look at this whole situation from an objective standpoint, and that's to be able to, one, not expect this supreme return. We have to be honest with ourselves. I mean, there's a lot of us who grew up watching Jeff Hardy. There's a lot of us who are extreme, no pun intended, Jeff Hardy fans, and we have to be able to understand that we're not necessarily going to get a Rey Mysterio-esque run. We're not going to see Jeff Hardy coming back and doing everything that he would have been doing. I mean, we pretty much, especially in AEW, we have Darby Allin for that. So we don't necessarily need another Daredevil in the midst. And, we just need Jeff to come in, one, switch up his style just a little bit. You don't have to do too much, especially if you want to continue to stay healthy. But I also don't think that this should be a very long run. I think they should come in and almost treat it as like a farewell tour. Wow. But and I know some of you don't want to hear that. I know some of you want to come in and it's like, I want to see Jeff, he's back. I want to see this, see that, whatever. But come on. We have to be able to usher in the future. And with that, yes, you're going to have a situation where it's almost apropos with the way that Sting talked about earlier in the night on Dynamite. He said it's all, Showtime's almost over. For him, he's got one foot out the door, not necessarily in life, just, in terms of, in-ring ability. And we have to look at the same thing when it comes to the Hardys. You know, unless, and this is that caveat that's right there, unless they get in possibly the best shape of their lives. And I think if that happens, then maybe we can talk about it being more of a stay than it should be. You know, but at this point right now, looking at how very stiff Matt is and how much older Jeff looks in terms of what he's doing in the ring, because he's still trying to do the same stuff that he was doing before. He hasn't really switched up his style, you know, so to speak. And I think if that came with a character change in terms of, you know, having the having him come as Willow, because I don't think, as far as I remember, I don't think Willow did a lot of the same stuff that Jeff. I think there was more of a grounded ring style and not so much over the top. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below if that's the case. But as far as I remember, when I was watching TNA and they introduced Willow, there wasn't much of Jeff Hardy isms in terms of the in-ring style. And that goes the same for Matt Hardy. But I'm happy about this. My radar's up on this one. You know, there is going to be a bit of doubt for the most part, and I don't want there to be, but it's hard not to expect history to repeat itself, because it has. You know, we have a lot more to go off of in terms of the past situations with Jeff, where it's hard to say that, oh, this is the wake-up call that he needs. I'm hoping that it is. You know, there is a big part of me that is, let's get it together, Jeff. Because if that's not the case, then this needs to be a nice, hey, I'm back, I'm healthy, adios type situation, and then go about his life. But I think every in-ring performer deserves that ride off into the sunset, that farewell tour, so to speak. They deserve to be able to have that one last run where they look better going out. You know, you never want to have a situation where the last thing that somebody remembers from you is a negative situation. Nobody deserves that, especially with all the work that a lot of them put in to entertain us. You know, we're, you know, a lot of us content creators, fans, we do everything that we do because of what we've watched or what we grew up with. And, you know, it would be foolish of us to say that nobody deserves that, you know, that nobody deserves to have that highlight run. You know, Rey Mysterio's getting his right now. Sting, thankfully, is technically getting his kind of in AEW, because WWE, that definitely didn't fucking work. But, you know, you can also say that he had his farewell run in TNA. The same thing with Ric Flair, you know, the last match, that tag match aside. But every in-ring performer deserves to have that, you know, regardless of what you think about them. We're talking about the merit and the work that they put in. But to go back to Jeff Hardy, we haven't seen anything yet outside of him returning. It is looking good, you know, as far as him looking like he's in shape. He does seem as though he's moving well, and I appreciate that. He does seem somewhat rejuvenated, but that also could be, you know, the high that we're on from seeing him come back, you know, because again, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and that could be the situation here. So I guess we kind of have to see what transpires on the weeks moving forward, because clearly it looks like we're going to end up getting some type of Hardys and Hook versus the Firm match, which I would assume would be at what's next? Is it Full Gear? I could be wrong. On the next pay-per-view, obviously, but yeah, we just got to wait and see, you know. I wanted to recap this, just kind of see So you can see where I am and where I stand on this, because I don't want the last thing I said about Jeff Hardy to be the stuff that I said in the previous video. Because I mean, there wasn't anything bad. It was more objective, and it was more so to the point of he needs to get his shit together, which is true, which is very much true. And it goes with this as well. If you are going to be in the ring and you want to be there, then you need to be there. You know, I'm sure that Tony did not pay you money to come in and do what you wanted to do and just blow that shit away. You know, make this run your best run, or as much as you can, but do this not only for you know, not only for the fans, not only for us, you know, and everybody that's watching you, but for yourself, your family, and your legacy. You know, I think your legacy is one thing that does deserve it, because you've done so much in your career that would basically be deemed worthy of Hall of Fame, of a Hall of Fame induction in any company that you're in. So make this one hell of a run to wipe away all the negatives that has, you know, especially the last one, but, you know, to wipe away the shit that happened in Victory Road, to wipe away, you know, all the all the videos and the rumors and news tabloids that have been placed upon you in terms of your extracurriculars. You know, you're a very artistic person, you're a very creative person, you are very, you know, innovative. I don't want to say character, but you're an innovative portion and a very important portion to the future of this industry, you know, which is why we have, you know, guys like, you know, Darby Allin, which is why we have guys like a Ricochet, like a Kofi. In certain cases, you know, I don't want to say Rey Mysterio, because that's more of a lucha libre cruiserweight style. They've innovated that on their own. But you did something that a lot of people in this industry incorporate in their style now, which is why there are a lot of, you know, holy shit moments, which is why there are a lot of death-defying stunts, which is why there are a lot of more people taking risk within this industry in terms of in-ring ability. You know, had it not been for a lot of stuff that you did and a lot of stuff that you were willing to do, there wouldn't be a lot of stuff that would have been, I mean, there probably would have been somebody that would have innovated it at some point, but it may not have been as soon as you had. So do this for your legacy, please. So with that, to keep it short and simple, I'm glad that he's back. Very cautious about it, but at the end of the day, I'm hoping for the absolute best with this return. So with that said, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and until you see this handsome face and hear this immaculate voice, understand this. It's your resident predictions champion. Gonna be here for a while, of course. We don't plan on leaving this anywhere else. And until next time, until I bid you all adieu, you beautiful, beautiful mother effers. Tag the fucketh.
Dollars make a way to make a change. Gotta be insane to make them same mistakes again. So I'm switching lane to lane.